Americans in this clip voted for Donald Trump and now they cannot afford to eat. He promised he was going to make these people's lives better and fix all of the problems they are facing. However, he has done the exact opposite. Everything has gotten worse.
How big of a problem hunger is in rural America? Spend time at a mobile food bank.
It's 90% of what I consume. And I don't keep the car running. I can't afford the gas, so I have sleeping bags to stay warm.
I still feel bad that I have to come up here and sit on a line, to get food. It's embarrassing as hell.
While Americans are struggling to afford gas, food, and rent, Trump has found time to do just about everything else except for his job, including giving $40 billion to Argentina. He's also found the time to demand $230 million in taxpayer money for himself. And of course, he's got plenty of time to destroy the entire east wing of the White House and replace it with a ballroom that's modeled after one of Putin's palaces. But he can't find the time or compassion to reopen the government or extend ACA tax credits that many of his rural supporters rely on to survive. This is what happens when leadership becomes a vanity project. Trump isn't governing, he is indulging himself. He's treating the presidency like a personal empire with luxury renovations and giving foreign strongmen billions of dollars. Meanwhile, his very own supporters are standing in food lines saying they can't afford gas or groceries. It's not like he doesn't have the time or resources to fix this stuff, it's that he simply doesn't want to or care.
MAGA moving out, y'all. MAGA is moving out. If y'all understand the reference, basically, there was a MAGA flag that was flying and shit, proud as fuck in my neighborhood. I made a TikTok about it. Some people were like side-eyeing me, which I didn't understand. And then literally 4 months after Trump won the election, these bitches talking about we need to sell our house. Girl, how the man you put in office and promoting for free in front of your house got you having to sell that shit? Not even a year later. That's ghetto. And I laugh at it every fucking time because I'm petty. I don't care.
Think of the farmers in these rural areas. They buy fertilizers, they buy farming tools. They are now spending extra of what they are spending before. Nobody told those people that it's going to be like this, because if they had known, they wouldn't have voted for Trump. They are all regretting. They are all bending their heads in shame right now. I feel for them, honestly. I feel for them, but what can we do if not for Trump to come and correct that which he has done? The country is spoiling, things are going south, yet he doesn't care. He doesn't mind. He's acting as if he's not in the country and hearing what is happening or hearing the cries of the poor masses. Continue watching, guys.
Hey, just some guy here, and this is why rural MAGA voters lose the most from school vouchers. I'll explain it slowly with some maps and math. Okay, this one is probably going to sting a little because you rural conservatives are being played the hardest in this whole school voucher circus. And I don't think you even realize it. So let's walk through it. School vouchers, they sound great to y'all on TV. Freedom, choice, escape failing schools. Cool. Now, quick question. How many private schools are within 30 miles of your rural town? Exactly. Most rural counties don't have private schools. They don't have charter networks. They don't have choice marketplaces. They have one school. One, and that school is the football stadium, the jobs hub, the community center, the emergency shelter, the tax base anchor. It's the heart of the town. Now, here comes the voucher policy. State legislator passes it. Tax dollars get set aside for school choice. Urban, suburban families where private schools actually exist, they use it. Rural districts, they still only have one school, but now their state education budget is thinner. So the rural district loses funding. They don't gain options. That's not choice, that's extraction. Studies from groups like National Rural Education Association have warned that voucher expansion disproportionately harms rural districts because enrollment loss hits harder when you only have one school. You can't consolidate when you're already consolidated. You can't shop around when there's nothing to shop. And here's the brutal math. An urban district loses enrollment, it's annoying. A rural district loses enrollment, that might mean cutting teachers, cutting electives, cutting sports, and combining grades. Small districts operate on very thin margins. There's no cushion. And guess what else rural schools often have more of? Higher poverty rates, higher special education needs, longer bus routes, higher transportation costs. They are already expensive to operate per student. Now reduce funding and what happens? Programs disappear and the politicians say, see, it's inefficient. No, it's isolated. And here's the kicker. Voucher money overwhelmingly goes to metro areas because that's where private schools are. So rural taxpayers help fund private school tuition in cities while their own schools get weaker. You are subsidizing someone else's choice. That's the grift. And when rural schools close, towns shrink, property values drop, young families leave, businesses don't move in. The community erodes. Public schools are economic anchors. You rip them out and the town bleeds. Meanwhile, the same politician who pushed voucher campaigns on protecting rural America, protecting it from what? Its own school? If you're rural and cheering vouchers, you're voting to destabilize the only education infrastructure that you have. That is not freedom, that is self-sabotage.
MAGA rural voters are going broke. Going broke in the sense that when you are buying something for $1, all of a sudden you are buying it for $10. Maybe your salary or your wages is even $10 per week. You definitely go broke.
Check out how Trump's policies are destroying these red state farmers who voted for him, and we're going to be right back.
Now, I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
You said, I love you, Mr. Trump. I need to see the fruit of your love.
5 of my customers have committed. That's how serious that this is.
And what it costs for us to farm is astronomical now.
I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work. I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm.
After a horrible year last year where most farmers in Arkansas Delta lost money, this year's going to be worse.
So my son will not be the second generation on our farm.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
Now, a lot of my liberal followers are understandably, justifiably like, well, F around and find out. But that's a little too simple for my journalistic standards. There's something deeper going on here. If you have a historical understanding of how propaganda works on the human mind, I think everybody who's getting messed over by these Trump policies in red states who voted for him needs to start by suing right-wing media companies for radicalizing them into doing things that are against their best interests and echo chambering them out of the information that could have them more critical about his policies. I'll reiterate, if you ain't got the bandwidth to feel nothing for these people after what they done, I feel you. But low-key, high-key, this is tragic, yo. Because even as late as May, a survey by the Purdue company of like 400 farmers showed that 70% of them still believe that Trump's tariff is going to have some kind of positive benefit for them. Remember that slew of executive orders that Donald Trump was just signing earlier on in the year? Well, it caused so much bureaucratic instability that it made the U.S.
When you're someone you are supporting, thinking that when he enters the seat, he will make things better. He will better the economy. Now, even to eat, to get what you will eat is difficult. To get what you will eat is now difficult. That is the situation of those people right now. Donald Trump promised them good life. Donald Trump promised them good education, quality education. But what are they getting? They are getting an opposite of what is happening. They are getting opposite of what he promised them. He didn't fulfill his promise. Rather, he's making things difficult. He's doubling the expenses. Even to see what they will eat is now difficult. The ones in the villages, they are not finding it funny. They cannot get what to eat. They cannot get what to feed their families with. Is this the kind of the country, is this the kind of economy that Donald Trump promised those people? This is quite worrisome, and he is keeping calm. That is where the pain is being felt by those people. He's not saying anything. It's not Trump administration is the worst so far.
Events overnight, some even more. Insanity. I was at Walmart. I saw $377.
Know that the areas being most impacted by Donald Trump's government shutdown and programs like SNAP, Head Start, and more expiring is Republican rural areas.
Is that why the Democrats didn't vote for the bill, Harry? Did you say the quiet part out loud? Are they withholding voting and not joining with any Republicans to vote for this? Because you guys looked at the data and said there's more Republicans being affected by this. Republicans, some of our base, more Republicans, our base can take the hit. We know there's going to be some suffering. There's leverage, but there's got to be leverage. So that's more important, right? More important than Republicans, more important than a lot of your Democrat base. It all makes sense now. You know, every time I watch your videos, I think I got nothing out of them. But this is the first one in a long time that I've seen Harry J. Sisson do that makes tons of sense. And we really appreciate you informing us on the reasons why you guys truly didn't vote for the budget bill. Because the majority are Republicans. Look at you, contributing a little bit to society, telling the truth about the Democrats and what you guys are doing. We see you, okay? Thanks for that today. Bye-bye.
It is worrisome. It is pathetic that Trump at this point, Trump administration is the worst. If anybody has told this set of people, MAGA voters, that their life would be worse, would deteriorate from what it was before to this point, they wouldn't believe. They're all crying and shedding tears right now. They're in pains because this is not what they expect. This is not what they planned. This is not what they prayed for. Keep watching and listen to people's reaction on what they are saying regarding all those things happening. The expenses being piled up, utility bills, the school fees of the children in schools. There is no free school anywhere again. You pay extra of what you are paying before. When you were paying $4 for a particular purchase, now you are paying $8, like ×2 of what you were paying before. You definitely go broke. And that is their state right now. That is the state of rural MAGA voters right now.